Right now, back here in the studio, let's move on from there now. Teenage pregnant mothers stand a higher risk of depression, and that is part of findings from a study by the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology School of Medical Sciences. The investigation, led by Rita Reiko Matilda Besise, found 71% depression prevalence among mothers below 18 years. As the world observes Suicide Prevention Day, Love FM's Kwesi Deborah speaks with the author of the study.
17-year-old Nanekia lives alone in this kiosk. She was thrown out of the house after her mother discovered she was 3 months pregnant. The former sachet water seller is now jobless.
I am tempted to go back to the house of my grandmother, but it isn't working. They have refused me home on grounds that I come without the pregnancy.
An abortion is not a distant thought. A 2006 study concluded 20% of women will battle with depression at a point in their lifetime, with pregnancy being the highest stage of vulnerability. A 2014 study also found 9.9% depression prevalence among Ghanaian pregnant women. The study, as part of a final year thesis, sought to assess the risk factors and effects of depression during pregnancy among 100 pregnant women in the Ningu Prampram district in the Greater Accra region.
I screened the women for antenatal depression firstly, and then I also administered a questionnaire that basically took down the things I hypothesized to be risk factors.
Though previous studies suggest depression during pregnancy ranges from 4% to 20%, the current study found 33% prevalence. The study cites previous depression as the greatest risk factor for depression during pregnancy.
Women below the age of 18, women who are unmarried but living with their partners, women of low and high educational backgrounds, women who had a previous abortion, whether it was a spontaneous or an induced abortion. And then women with an induced abortion were more likely to have antenatal depression.
Surprisingly, women who were depressed were more likely to attempt abortion.
It was as high as 64.7%. That was very high, yeah.
Deferring folic acid intake and pregnancy termination attempts were also found to be risk factors.
We should screen for antenatal depression, seeing as it has such a strong effect, not only on the mother but then on the fetus. I mean, men should support their partners, especially during pregnancy, so that these women will not end up with antenatal depression.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
41% of Ghanaians have psychological distress, while 1,500 people die every year through suicide. Speaking earlier on the AM show with Mamavi, Chief Executive Officer of the Mental Health Authority, Dr. Kwesi Osei, disclosed that women attempt suicide more than men. He advised stakeholders to set up counseling facilities in all health institutions. Dr. Kwesi Osei also stressed the need to decriminalize suicide.
There is real distress in the society. Real distress. And I relate that also to some work that was done by some researchers from University of Ghana and Yale, and they found that 41% of Ghanaians have one form of psychological distress or the other, meaning issues bothering their mind that they can't find a way out, distress. Of the 41%, 19% of them were moderate to severe, enough for you to call it mental illness. Now 41%, almost half of the population. That means there is a lot of stress and distress in the society, and a lot is from socio-economic issues. And I must say that this one is the governments over the years that have the responsibility to relieve that socio-economic distress. 1,500 persons die every year through suicide.
1,500?
1,500. Last year, you may remember there was a surge of suicide. Within a 3-month period, we had 20 people dying. And then we opened our phone lines, we used our phone lines as a helpline, and you were getting about 200 calls a day. Wow. Of people who were contemplating, planning, attempting, and felt that I need to get some help. And they called 200 a day. To date, I still get calls, midnight calls.
Wow.
The rate has gone down, but we still get calls. So it's really, really a serious situation. What is pathetic about it is the fact that as a nation, we don't even recognize that it's a problem, it's an issue. So we seem not to be tackling it.
Why do people want to die?
In the last 6 weeks, I decided to take some statistics out of that. And we got about 20 people in the last 6 weeks, 20 people who were on the verge of committing suicide. Most of them were, about 12 of them were women, females, I would say, and 8 males. Interestingly, more females attempt suicide than males, but more males complete suicide than females. In other words, for every 5 cases of suicide that you hear of completed, 4 will be men and 1 will be a woman. But for 5 cases of attempted suicide you hear of, 4 will be women and 1 will be a man. Now the reason is that men tend to use more lethal approaches that are not likely to fail. Because they would have contemplated over it for a long time, planned it, thought about it for a long time. Women use methods that are not likely to succeed. So their methods are mostly the ones that somebody will come and find them in that situation and then rescue them. What was interesting was that most of them were between 18 to 35 years.
Wow.
A good number of them, early 20s. A lot of them were either students or unemployed. They've come out of school for a year or two, unemployed, and they find life difficult. They don't find their socioeconomic problems. Some were also relationship problems, especially the ladies.
Dr. Akusio say they're speaking with Mamavi Owusu-Aboagye earlier on the AM show. And indeed, today is World Suicide Prevention Day. So do stay safe. And if you do need help, there is still the helpline from the psychiatry that you could call.